apology, but now I'm here. I apologize that maybe some people have asked some questions, but that I didn't have the benefit of hearing them. But let me say that I am very happy that we are having this conversation, a conversation about issues, a conversation about our country, a conversation about issues that affect each and every one of us. We are not discussing tribes, we are not discussing positions, we are not discussing all those things that are personalities and things like those. We are discussing issues of importance to each and every one of us, from jobs to governance to corruption to all the things that matter to all of us. And as I have said, I have come here to listen very carefully. That one thing I have been accused of not doing, that is what I have come here to do, number one. Number two, I must say that maybe I have been listening in different other spaces. Now I have an opportunity to listen on this platform to different Kenyans from different parts of the world and from our great country, Kenya. Now, let me just say 2 or 3 things that I think I had the last 2 speakers who asked their questions. The question number 1 that I have that has been asked is from Kevin, I think, that maybe I'm out of touch. How did I not know what was happening in the country? But let me tell Kevin and all of us that I have the benefit of more information in my hands. What I cannot do is do things like operate on numbers that have no basis. If you heard me very clearly, I said up to now, 25 Kenyans died out of this unfortunate scenario that affected our country the last 2 weeks. Some reckless people have put numbers all the way to 150. You know, in fact, on one occasion, the Kenya Human Rights Commission said 157 Kenyans have been, there was a massacre in Kidurai. That was not true. And for your information, even the BBC, on hearing such, outrageous allegations, went to investigate. And if you listen to the BBC, they say there was no such thing. In fact, one Kenyan unfortunately lost his life in Githurai. Let me go to the situation which was which happened in Rongai, where we lost a young Kenyan. The situation in Githurai was that a criminal in Rongai, a criminal assaulted the police, took over the firearm of the police, and shot, and unfortunately that bullet went and killed a young Kenyan. And unfortunately, again, and we have to be honest with one another, it was said that this young Kenyan was pumped with 8 bullets. That is also not true in Rongai, And so there is a lot of information out there in the social media propagated by people to try and create a situation that did not exist. In fact, I heard Kevin say, I was asking the one who, did he die? Because, the one that was being said of 8 bullets did not exist. In fact, we have now found out that the one of 8 bullets happened several years ago, somewhere in Buruburu, and it was in a completely different scenario. But on Rongai, I was very clear. I had the benefit of information, and I spoke to that information. The same narrative I gave when I gave the interview on Sunday is the same narrative I have at the moment. I have also been, Kevin has also said that we need to hold the police accountable, and that is correct. And it has been said that I am the president. Yes, I am the president of Kenya. But the president doesn't hold absolute power. That is why we are a democracy. In a democracy, there is a system of checks and balances. The president is not a dictator. I cannot decide for the judiciary. I cannot decide for the legislature. They make their own independent decisions. I cannot decide for independent institutions. The police, and let me say this without fear of any contradiction. When I came into office, I said I will respect the independence of the police. In fact, the one act I did when I came into office, the first day when I sat on my table as president, I signed the instrument to remove the budget of the police from my office, because that budget was being used to manipulate the police. You all know that it is said, he who pays the piper calls the tune. So I did not want my office to be the one to decide for the police on who to arrest, who to charge, how to pursue corruption. I provide policy, the police run independently. In fact, if you read the Constitution of Kenya, the police is an independent institution. It doesn't take instructions from me. It doesn't take instructions from the Chief Justice. It doesn't take instructions from the Speaker or from the legislature. They act independently. I agree, good people, that innocent lives were lost. And one life lost is one too many. I have said in my statement that as government, we are going to support a program called ETA. Our numbers for tourism have gone up by 500,000. More Kenyans today have jobs in our hotels. Our hotels in Kenya today are 80% full in many instances. If you speak to the tourism sector, they will tell you our numbers for tourism in 2022 was close to 1 million. Last year, it was 2 million. This year, we are heading to 2.7 million. It is part of the interventions that I have made. It is part of the changing of how do you come to Kenya. Make it easy. Today, you don't have to go to no office. Today, you can get your ETA, pay for it online, and be able to come to Kenya easily. And Kenya is not the only country in Africa that is doing that. We are all doing that. Look at what is happening in Europe. 27 countries in Europe, they don't have a visa between them. They have abolished visa between them. Why would we want to keep a visa regime that keeps business people, that keeps tourists out and makes it much more difficult for them to come and enjoy what we have? For your information, Kenya should not be having 2.7 million tourists. We should be having 10 million. In fact, London has nothing to show. London is blocks, old places. They have 20 million tourists. We should be having 10 million tourists. It is my focus that in the next 5 years, I want to double the number of tourists coming to Kenya by 2027, 2028, and progressively do that. Why do I need tourists in Kenya? I need to create jobs for millions of young people in our country. We need to create investment in Kenya. We need to make sure that our farmers have a place to sell their food, their produce. This is why I am doing the visa free. It is not us versus them. We are looking after our own interest. And that's what I'm doing. Let me also say the following. Many people have asked me why I shouldn't dissolve cabinet. You see, when you sit in the place that I sit, there are many things that you have to think about. And I have given my undertaking this afternoon, that I am in the process of looking at how differently we can be able to reorganize government for it to deliver effectively appropriately, and I have listed a number of interventions that I believe will take us to the next level, added on to what we were doing. I have also heard from my good sister who said that what happens to the finance bill? Is it going to become law in 21 days? Because that was the biggest beef. And why did I wait until it was too late? Let me answer it this way. First, let me say that the finance bill today was a victim of many falsehoods and propaganda. The finance bill today was meant to achieve very important things for the Republic of Kenya. Unfortunately, I gave in because the people of Kenya had decided they do not want it, which is okay. But was there a problem with the finance bill? I would want a honest interrogation of the finance bill. For example, it was said that the finance bill had matters to do with increasing money for land rates and land rent and changing the whole configuration. Let me tell you, there is no single sentence in the finance bill that speaks to land rents and land issues. It was not true. It also says that we had put in there taxes that would make it difficult for people suffering from cancer. Let me tell you that, in fact, in this finance bill, we had put there 2 billion shillings to pay for the people who have cancer, who have diabetes, who have hypertension, because under our universal housing program. In the same bill, we had put interventions that would create more jobs. We had said, for example, there is no need for us to import diapers, to import pampers, to import linker, to import furniture from all manner of places when there are enough factories in Kenya to manufacture these products. And these products manufactured by Kenyans, hiring Kenyan young people, building Kenyan wealth, we were protecting our own industries so that we can protect our own jobs and give opportunity to millions of young people, I mean, it was the best that I could do in that circumstance. And I promised them that under our housing program, because we now have their list, under our housing program, we are going to consider them the first beneficiaries of our social housing program. I made that commitment in public. If you ask our peers for housing, they already have the data on these Kenyans who were removed from the riparian reserve, who had to be relocated for their own safety. For your information, we lost many Kenyans who were sleeping there, but they were carried by the floods. And it was the best thing that I could do. I went there in person. My minister was there consistently. I had 3 different cabinet meetings to attend the issue. We committed close to 400 million to make sure that those Kenyans who were in that situation were attended to. Maybe it wasn't enough. Maybe I should have done more. Maybe then I should apologize for not doing more. But to the best of my ability, it is the first time the government of Kenya is providing money to relocate people who have been affected in situations like the one in the flood.
Okay, Mr. President, on the issue of Githurai, you said there was only one casualty, which is a lie. Mr. President, acha nikwambie tu kweli. Githurai inasemekana there are more than 200 people who were shot dead. Wengine hata hawajulikani mahali wako saizi, vile tunaongea ukweli saizi. In Rongai, they shot some guys pia, wakakuficha wakakwambia ni mtu mmoja. Na ni ukweli, reality kwa ground watu walikuwa wanauliwa. Ina ni ukweli watu walikuwa wanauliwa. Tulikuwa huko, wote tulikuwa maandamano. Alafu kuna issue nyingine. This rogue cop amekuwa kichapa watu risasi, anachapa watu risasi open air, kila mtu ana camera there. The DCI doesn't do anything about it. Amekuwa all over social media, in the media, but you don't even say a word about him. His name is Murangiri. That killer cop ameua watu. watu wanazikwa kila siku sababu yake. Juzi ilikuwa last week Wednesday, nilikuwa town, nilimwona akitembea tu town vizuri, along Moi Avenue, very happy, very healthy. He's a killer cop, nothing has been done to him. Hii vitu tumekuwa tucomplain tangu kitambo. For how long should we be talking about this, about the killer cops?
Sorry.
You can go ahead, Mr. President.
My good brother, you know, it is good to be brutally honest. And I will not, as president, or even as a Kenyan, ever say anything that is not factual, especially on a very serious matter of people losing lives. Are you saying 200 people were killed in Githurai? Really? I mean, my friend, I mean, where are can the family step forward? People who are saying our members of our family are missing. They went to Mandamano or they went to picket and they did not come back. 200 people is not a joke, my friend. So I really want to plead with you. I am sorry to tell you, you have wrong numbers. I'm sorry to tell you that. It is
Mr.
not
President,
possible.
we even have the names. It's all over social media. Hata saizi mnaweza post, mnaweza soma hizo
What about
majina
social
zote
media?
zote.
I want to offer
We have
you.
the names,
I want to
even the
offer you.
faces. We have the faces
Tomorrow,
and the
I
names.
want to offer you to bring the names and family members of the people who are saying their loved ones are not there. Don't even take them anywhere. Bring them to State House. The family members who are saying, I have lost so and so. My fellow, a member of my family was there on Monday last week. He went to Mandamano and he didn't come back. And where possibly are the bodies? You know. So I mean, really, my good friend, it is just good to be. You know, we are dealing with a very serious issue. Please let us not use information that is not very